Hi, everybody, and welcome back to Let's Talk PMA. I'm Allie.
And I'm Jessica.
And today we have a special guest. This is my dad, Mike Parnell. Hi, Dad, if you want to go ahead and say hi and introduce yourself.
Good morning, I'm Mike. Glad to be a part of it today.
Dad, do you want to give us a little bit of your background with sports? I mean, I know you've been an athlete and a parent and a coach as well.
I grew up playing, well, my whole family played sports pretty much, but I grew up playing at that time, one of the few leagues of soccer in grade school, but I also played baseball and basketball and football and played basketball and baseball all the way through high school, and then played college baseball at a community college here locally.
Yeah, that's awesome. And then you were definitely a coach for a long time. You have lots of experience with that. Today, we are talking a lot about parents and kind of how they interact in the whole team of parents and coaches and athletes, because they're all a team together. So what kind of experiences have you had from switching from being a parent to a coach to a coach to a parent, kind of going back and forth with that?
To a certain point, they intertwine. I mean, because even as a parent, I'm always coaching. I'm always helping guys out, and probably coaching a little more than I should at times. But that's just who I am. That's the way I'm built, is to help you guys out. Being a coach is a lot different. You have to, you can't. It's not just one kid. You have the whole team you're working with, and you have to teach each kid differently sometimes, and find a way to get into to teach each of those kids. Whereas as a parent, you kind of know your kids' buttons and how to get them to motivated, how to push them, how to get them involved and keep them excited about it, not get too frustrated. Well, hopefully it doesn't always work, but that's pretty much the difference, I guess.
So you brought up something that I think is interesting, and something we talk a lot about, is that you sometimes overcoach, or you're always coaching. You're always coaching no matter what, and sometimes that's just part of who you are. But there's a difference between, I feel, watching you and I as we watched, went through the kids growing up, of yes, we always were there. Yes, we always had our opinions, but we tried not to be overly. So we tried to keep our boundaries as much as we could, especially when they're on the court with their team, to be able to.
You were very good about that. I wasn't always that good.
But I mean, okay, you can say that, and that's great, because then I was kind of our mediator, where I was like, okay, that's over. You need to step back a little bit, because we're interfering with the coach. And so, if I think we melded well that way, because I was able to rein you back at times, right, when I felt that was too much.
Right.
Yeah.
And it makes a big difference too, on what sport you're coaching. Like basketball for you and your brother was, you could talk a little bit to him, you say something, or, you hear me echo through the gym occasionally and saying something to you. But when you're on the golf course, for example, you can't talk to them. You can't say anything to you. So, and to sit there and watch when you guys were playing golf was much more difficult, to not be able to say anything, not be able to help out at all and say, here's what you're doing, or, just relax, slow down, or whatever the comment could have been. Couldn't say anything. So that was really hard.
Yeah. I think that all kind of plays in. Mommy brought up boundaries. Boundaries with parents is like a very, very crucial skill to have. I struggle with having boundaries with the parents all the time. I don't like to have to tell off parents, because I don't think it's, necessary most of the time, but sometimes I do have to be able to just say, hey, I need you to just leave your kids alone. Because as an athlete, I know that I always look to you guys, whether it was golf, basketball, soccer, whatever it was. I always look to you guys if I made a mistake or if I was struggling and I needed help. I always look to you guys, even for follow through or relax, just like something just to like make me feel better. And I always thought that you guys did a really good job of not overly coaching, not like really breaking everything down. It was always just like make sure you follow through, or just like you need to calm down kind of thing. Not
Use
like,
your legs.
yeah, use your legs. It wasn't like oh, you're not sliding your feet, or you're, like it wasn't like drug out, and it wasn't like you would come down to the bench or come and interrupt me or something like that. You wouldn't like really make yourself known. It was just kind of like I look and I understand what you guys are saying to me.
Well,
And I think that's,
sorry, go ahead, Allie.
no, that's okay. That's just the boundaries that everyone needs to make sure that they have, is just make sure that you know when to say things and how you should be saying things.
I think the part, like, you have good points there, and I think part of that is when you say little things, not extended amount of coaching, but because usually when you're doing that, you're middle of a game or middle of a round or middle of a match or whatever you're playing, sport you're playing. I mean, you have so many things going in your head already that if you add too much, then it just gets more things jumbled. Like little things like follow through or just relax. Just play hard and you'll be fine, or something. Just a little confidence, a little builder, or something. To go, oh, that's what I'm doing. Or even when you're golf swing, it's like, or your putting, it's like just follow through with your putter, or you're just too quick or whatever. Just little things, and you can kind of get yourself back, relax. Golf's the hardest thing to relax and get over that last shot. And that's, if you have little things like that to go back to your basics, get you back to where you're supposed to be, that makes it a lot easier.
But at the same time, you want to be a little bit minimalistic, because you don't want your kids always to be looking at you for their what to do. You want them to be looking at the coach for what to do. So if you have to be verbal, if you have to be, give them whatever they need or you think they need, make it that minimalistic, so that it's just that little bit of confidence. But where their majority of their confidence needs to go is to their coach, because that's who the team relies on for all of their instruction.
Yeah, so I'm just going to kind of put this all together because we're all saying about the same thing. So for any of the parents that are listening, if you want to be there for your kids, give them the most littlest of confidence booster that you possibly can give them. Simple things here and there, but make sure it's known that their coach is who they should be going to. Every time they have a question, go to their coach. Do not come to you. You guys can communicate it after a game, before a game, any other time. But when it is game time or it's practice time, they need to be looking to their coaches specifically, because you never know if you are going to be telling your kids something completely different than what the coaches are telling them. So, Dad, I'm going to go ahead and throw this at you. How can you help your kids outside of being in like a practice or a game, like a team setting?
You mean one-on-one on their own kind of thing? Just be there for them. And if they want to go shoot hoops, they want to go hit baseballs, they want to go to the driving range, they want to go whatever sport you're doing, try to make the time to go do that with them. I was not always the best at that. I was better at it with golf than definitely I was with basketball and stuff. We started when you got older, started going to the gym and started running and helping you get in shape and lift some weights and get ready, things like that. Just kind of leave it up to kids what they want to do, and just make sure you can help them the best you can.
I think that, bringing your own skills into helping your kids off the court. I mean, if you're an athlete and you have kids that are athletes, then you want to be their coach too. But that's fine but take that too on your own time. So take it, after their games, after their practices or whatever, if they need help continuing to develop their skills and you have the ability to help them, then do it on your own private time. I think that's very important, and it helps that bonding with their kids too, and it helps your kids to feel more confident knowing that their parents are involved with what they're doing, and even just having those chats with them after a game.
I think one of the hardest things that for as a parent to learn to do was um, a little bit with you with basketball, definitely with Quentin with golf, was there's a certain point that he was so far above and beyond anything I could help him with. I had to pass it over to someone who knew more than I did. And that was a hard thing to do. He still talks to me, and we work on things and that he knows I can help him with. But as a parent, that was a hard thing to, step aside and say, you're above me, son. I can't help anymore. You've got to get someone that's has more knowledge and more can help you more than I can. I mean, and he did. He had some great coaches that helped him through his whole career.
Yeah, I think that kind of plays in also with, when your kid reaches a certain level and it's kind of hard to help them, but also if, let's say you aren't an athlete or you weren't an athlete and your kid has picked a sport or any sport and you have no idea how the sport works or how to play it or how to fix what they're doing, like you just don't know. So what can you do to help? I mean, I know you can watch videos, you can watch games, try to learn about it to do the best that you can, listen to what the coaches are saying, ask the coaches questions. But what else do you guys like, and Dad, you're just saying from your experience, what else can you do if you don't know how to help them?
I think you can volunteer to help with the practices. Go be a coach on the sideline with them, listen to them, help them with their drills, or talk to their instructor or coach or whatever, and say, well, when we go on the side, what can he work on? What's his weakness? What's his strength? What does he or she, I should say, what can they do to help them get better?
Well, there's also, they can go get another trainer. You can go, what other events or whatever other training can they get involved with that they need? It's like, with you, you got in with Rackley and was able to have an extra personal trainer. With Quentin, we had golf coaches. And so it's just going above and beyond because you may be above, what our skills are. And so then you have to look for others. But again, like Dad said, it's knowing and asking those questions and being involved in a proper way with the coach saying, what else can we do to help our kid?
Well, and part of that too is sometimes, we were very fortunate in our family that we all communicated well and you guys were able to take advice from us. Not that doesn't always work with parents and kids. Sometimes it's very toxic. Parents are saying something, the kids are taking it one way, the parents aren't meaning it, but they're coming off that way, or whatever the case may be. Sometimes you need to step away and let someone else take it and still be there for them, but you just may not be able to coach your kid. That happens a lot. I'm sure you see that all the time.
Yeah, no, I definitely see that all the time. And sometimes it's also just seeing that the kids and the parents have different goals.
Sure.
And I think the biggest thing for a parent is knowing what your kids' goals are. Like you guys always knew that I wanted to play college basketball. That was my goal since I was a kid. And same with Quentin. We knew that Quentin wanted to play golf big time. And so that I think that helped you guys a lot in making sure that you're doing what you can to help us get to where we want to be and keep us motivated, keep us wanting to push forward. And so even if you don't have like you can't communicate well with your kids or it's something that you do need to like step back from, at least stay there and help them reach their goals, help them stay motivated, and just help them get there because they can't do it by themselves for sure.
Encouraging your kids to know that they can be whatever they want to be. They can do whatever they want to do and encourage that, not hindering them,
Yeah.
not saying, oh, you're not good enough, so just don't do that. Definitely something that you need to keep to yourself if that's your thought. But, always encourage them that maybe they don't have the skills right now, but if they truly want it and go after it, then let them do that. Give them that empowerment as a parent to say, go after your dreams, but you're going to have to work for it.
There's two things I asked you for everything both you kids did. Two things you had to do, and they were what, Allie?
Have fun and work hard.
Yep.
Have fun and work hard always. I
If you're not
mean,
gonna have fun, you're not gonna work hard. If
then
you don't
why are
work
you
hard,
doing
you're
it?
struggle and you're not gonna have fun. It's kind of they go
Yeah.
together.
Yeah, definitely. And parents, whether you have a good relationship, okay relationship, or you can't communicate at all, just know that your kids are always going to listen to what you have to say, and it's always going to stick with them. Whether you think they're listening to you or not, they always hear everything that you say, and it will stick with them. So the least that you can do is just continue to motivate them and make them feel good, make them feel like they can do it and that they're doing a good job working hard to get there.
Well, just letting them know also that you're there for them, that you're encouraging them, even if it's from the sidelines, just to always be encouraged. And it's, we always made a big point of, after games or after on the sides or whatever, that we always told the coach, good job. Always, told the kids, good job. And, even if they lost, it was like, hey, you still had a good game here. You did great. You did great things. Just keep working hard.
Kids are getting better. You're doing, good job, coach.
Yeah.
Just
And so it's that personal encouragement, that not just for your kid, but for the team too, and the coach, because it's important. Like we've said, the parents, coaches, and athletes are all one team. And it's important not to exclude just one because you think that that's all you have power over. It's not. It's your actions towards the whole team.
Yeah. And
parents, coaches need to hear from the parents that they're how, no matter how the season's going or the round's going or whatever's going, that we know you're doing a good job, you're trying, the kids are getting better, and that's, they need to hear that. I mean, they put a lot of time and effort in, and as parents, you need to, instead of talking down to them, talking bad about them, encourage them a little bit. They need to hear that okay, things are going the right way, or makes a difference.
yeah, I mean, we were just talking about that. As a coach, I'm still learning every single game, every single weekend. I, as a coach, am learning how I want to coach and how I'm going to have to coach these different teams. And, we do our best, and we do our best to create relationships to make sure we know how each player plays, how to put them together in the right situations, to offer extra training to help your kid get to the right spot and everything else like that. So coaches do their best. I know that not all coaches are the same and have the same mindset that maybe I have, but they're always trying. They wouldn't be there if they didn't truly care, at least a little bit.
Exactly.
Yep.
Well, I think that's all we really have on that. Parents, there's lots of different things that you can do to continue to be a good support for your kids and for the coaches, and just be a part of the team. Dad, I want to thank you for coming on and talking with us. You had a lot of really good things to say with all of your experience in every field that we talk about here. And Merry Christmas, everybody.
Merry
Thank you.
Christmas.
Merry
Yes,
Christmas.
absolutely. It's great
Sorry.
to know that we can call on our family. We all have good experience. And so thank you very much for coming on today and being
Thank
a
you
part
guys.
of it.
It was fun.
We do have our workbook coming out here soon. We're very excited about it. It's in the final editing portion right now. And if you guys go and check out our Instagram, we do have a giveaway that is starting today. Lots of really cool Let's Talk PMA merch on there. We're very, very excited to go ahead and share that with you guys just in time for Christmas. And thank you guys again for all watching, listening, and we will see you guys next week.
Have a good week, everybody.